here's my Amiga 500, and this is my Checkmate case. Can you see that at all?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
This is a Checkmate A1500 Plus. It's a new recreation of a case that they made for the 500 back in the 80s. And it was a Kickstarter, and I missed I think there were two Kickstarters. I missed both of them, or there was a Kickstarter and a pre-order. Either way, I missed both of them, but I luckily got in just in time to catch the leftovers. So I ordered it out of the UK. It was shipped here in no time at all. Yeah. One thing I want to mention is I've got a microphone now, a lapel mic, so the audio should be better in my videos, and I know it's been just an absolute crap show in the past, so I'm hoping that it will be much better audio now. So let's unbox the case. Here's the case, and or the package. Let's open the package. Ooh, is a sharp utility knife. All right. There we go. No. I'll do it. All right. Got a couple of boxes here. Box number 1. Looks like the rails for the keyboard shed, which I won't be using right away because I'm going to be using the stock keyboard. It's way too big to fit in there, but I wanted to have it for future use. And all right, we have a power adapter here. I don't think I'm going to use this one actually. I think I accidentally ordered one that I didn't need, so I'll set that aside. I'm just going to leave these wrapped up until I get around to using them. Right. This box. Woo. There it is. That's where the keyboard's going to go. I'm going to have an external keyboard. You see right now, the Amiga 500, the computer and the keyboard are one. They're about to get divorced. It's been a long, long time going, 35 years. Now they're divorced. Ooh, sweet.
That looks like a good post-it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 30-year anniversary Checkmate A1500 Plus. Cool. My Amiga Limited. Cool. Supported systems: Amiga 500, 600, 1200, Mini ITX, Micro ATX, Raspberry Pi, Aeon 1222, and a Vampire. So yeah, you could put a PC inside this case. But I want to have an Amiga inside this case. Okay, now for the grand kahuna. So here's the case, double boxed. So it arrived perfectly sound from the UK. There we go. Scratched with my fingernails. Oh well. So, definitely saving this box. That's cool. Oh, I may have bumped the microphone. Okay, let's pop this open then. Oh, beautiful. Got a spiral user manual. That's so cool. It explains how to put it together. I'll probably read that. Your Amiga Home for the Future. Oh, and it's another poster. It's a smaller one. I can put this one in a frame or something. This is the black version. I felt that the beige version would match my my setup better. So that's why I got the beige one. Very well packaged. This is some good packaging. This should be a floppy adapter. Yes, this is a square 3.5-inch adapter. What I plan to use this for is the GoTech drive. So the GoTech doesn't fit in the slot. That'll work nicely for that. So here's the beige computer, there's the front of it. Let's get it out of the baggie. We are going to build this thing right now, right here and now, boys and girls. Beautiful. So I can put a stock Amiga drive here, and I do have my stock Amiga drive. If I can figure out how to repair it, then I could have two drives in this computer, which would be wonderful. It's got rubber feet already built into the bottom of it, a spot for a good sized fan to pull air through, and I got the Amiga 500 backplate pre-installed on here, so that's going to be very nice. Very cool. Okay, so this is my mouse. Don't need that right now. I got a better joystick. This is a replica of the old Atari style joystick, and it's got folded sides, and both buttons do the same thing, but at least it's got two buttons. And my GoTech drive, I can take that out of the GoTech drive. And this is my mouse to USB mouse adapter, Amiga mouse. And then this is my Wi-Fi modem I use so I can call BBSs, or telnet to BBSs anyways. And I do a lot of that on this machine because it's so much more realistic. You do it on a modern computer and pages just load like this. On this thing you watch them draw like you're still dialed up. It's amazing. Okay, so yeah, this old case, it had a hard life. It's broken here. There's chunks missing here. Yeah, there's a whole chunk missing here. Every time I pick this thing up, it goes crunch. And I can't screw it together because all the screw bosses are snapped off. There's not even one there anymore. This one's mostly gone. And they ran it into the bottom of the plastic to try and get it to bite. This one's gone. This is half gone. This one's my only intact one. This one's all shattered all up inside there and shattered through this way. So now I just start tearing this down very gently. Keyboard unplugs from the motherboard here. And there was nothing to screw it into. So you can see I've got the RAM expansion board. I think I'm going to do the mod where I put chips here instead of the ones here. So these are, let's see, 514-256A-80s. These are 4256-12s. So yeah, that's why those are slow mem and this is fast mem. But if I could put 4 more sticks in here and change the jumpers, I will do that in the future. Unplug. I'm probably, I won't need this cable anymore because this can come straight off the power supply. This is the power supply I'll be using. This is a Silverstone. It's really nice. It's 80 plus bronze, and it's got a really quiet fan in it, and it's 450 watts. I'm hoping that the cables will be long enough to reach. We'll see. If they aren't, I have an extension cable, which I almost expect I will have to, because these are designed for ITX cases that are way smaller. So, floppy cable, I may need a longer floppy cable to get this to work. So let's unplug that. Torque's 10, so let's unscrew the motherboard. I do need to remove the floppy drive now. Alright, there's the screws from that. Oh, that's right. Got these two standoffs. So we will see. Now, do I have any more screws in the motherboard? No. So I just have to get it out of the back of the case. Let go, my Lego. I never did blow the dust off this thing. You're going to do that before I put it back. Is the air compressor still on?
No, I turned it off.
Go ahead and fire it up.
Okay.
Thanks. Now, let's set this motherboard aside. I've watched his instructional video. Stephen Jones, who designed this case and produced it. So we are going to grab this case now and put it on the edge. And I also have the instruction manual open here. Here's how I open it. I'm just trying to figure out if I want the metal shield under the board still. I think I do, but I have to look in that instructions a little better. So first I'm just going to pop it open. There we go, there's one screw. Two screws. These are screws I do not want to lose. Now, slide this back, and when we get to the end, we're going to go down 45 degrees. There we go, just like promised. Very good. I'm going to put this somewhere safe. Very nice. I think he said it was powder coated. This is a very nice finish on this case. There is my Zorro adapter. So, lets me plug in some Zorro cards. This one says Zorro too. It looks like it's bigger. Yeah, cool.
And there's your screws.
Yeah, there's my screws. And this Checkmate sticker for the front of it. Cool. Very nice. Cool. And here's a power switch, which will plug into the Zorro card to turn on and off the ATX power supply. And we got some activity LEDs, power and drive. Okay. Hard disk power. Oh, okay. So this is for Amiga, which is what I'm using. It's got other ports for PCs. Now it looks like all the standoffs are built into the case. I do remember reading about that and hearing about that. So it should be pretty simple to put this in. Let me find out. All right. So. Okay, so these are the screws that hold the drive tray, which I will mess with shortly. So I'll have the GoTech here, and I can put the real floppy there. That'll work nicely for me. Cool. Let's try it. I've got to remove the GoTech, or the Zorro adapter, it says, so I can plug it into the motherboard. And I put them both in at the same time. This is a proper power supply, really nice, 80 plus. It will have no problems regulating properly. Oh, I'll put these screws over there. Okay. So, here's my Zorro adapter. Power switch is going to go here. I can do that now, or I can do it after it's all in. This plugs into the Amiga board. This will be the first time this motherboard's ever had a Zorro adapter plugged into it. Power is going to backfeed through the Zorro, so you don't need to come around the back of the case and plug into the original power outlet, which is good. You can put dummy loads. These would be resistors if you got a weaker power supply, or an older power supply that needs a load on it to regulate properly. But this 80 plus power supplies aren't going to need that. And 2 spots for fans. In theory, I could have a pair of 40s up here. Good luck finding quiet 40s, and a 120 down here. Although it's really close to the bottom. Actually, if you had the doghouse under it, it would totally have tons of room to flow air. But I'm going to get a Noctua fan there, so it's super quiet, because there were no fans originally, no hard drives even, so these things were dead silent computers. I don't want to toss a loud fan in there. Alright, so enough babbling, let's do this. Okay, I can already see that the metal shield has to go. It is running into the fan ports. So, I couldn't find mention of it in the manual, but that's okay with me. We will remove the metal shielding. I think it's just going to pop right off because I already removed it once. And I've already undone the screws back here because I wasn't sure, and I left them out last time I put this together. There we go. Holy moly, this is hard to press in. It's a big slide. Okay, it's in. So this is the A501. It says A501 revision 5. And I've removed the battery. The battery actually hadn't leaked, so I got really lucky there. This is a Rev 6A motherboard, which is the last and the newest Amiga 500 board. And, so I need to get a battery solution for this at some point, but I'm probably going to wait and see what I do for upgrade boards and see if they come with some other solution. Fit the brass M34 stud extenders into the base tray studs to raise the height and stop the other studs from touching the motherboard. Sure I got them. Alright, so standoffs are installed. Don't have enough room for a 120mm fan here. The standoffs should help keep this thing off of these. And if I had this thing still in its box, actually if it were still in its box would be pointing downwards, so I think, I don't know. But, one over. There we go. It's really easy to plug this in from above like that. Okay, yeah, it's well above the standoffs. So, good. We may now screw it in. I'm going to screw the Zorro in first, and then I'll come and do the other ones. Cool. Now, plug this back in again. There we go. I think I can just put the power supply in now. It'd probably help if I read the instructions.
What's it?
Refit the motherboard and screw into the tray, ensuring the ports fit. Fit the SFX power supply. Okay, so this was for the RAM expansion slot in the bottom of the case.
I was just making sure it wasn't going like this.
Yeah. Okay, so we decided we want these power cords closest to that so they reach. Okay, excellent. Now, we will run the power over. 24-pin connector, close this side up. Yeah, I got that on camera, cool. It's a good spot for that to rest. It's not on top of any of the chips. And I've got power for at least one floppy drive. Only one floppy drive. Yep, that's fine. I've got an adapter that'll go from this to the second floppy drive power.
That's better.
Yeah, because there's no way the original cord back here is going to reach. Yeah, in fact, I don't know what I'm going to do about a floppy cable yet, so I have to make one of those or come up with one or something. But not the end of the world. Technically, I could probably take these apart, pull the cable out of it, get new cable, and clamp the ends back on. These cords are not going to be very particularly useful for me because they are ATX power. These are, all of these are going to be extra power cords that I don't need. I know a lot of people bought modular power supplies, but it seems like those were the ones that didn't have long enough cords. So it's amazing.
Might as well have extra cord.
So I could cut these all off, but I'm just gonna bundle them up with some zip ties, and they'll just tuck down nice and neatly here. Yeah, something like that.
No,
It'll have to be. Maybe I'll zip tie it to the memory board so it holds that up too. Anyways, so next up we're going to remove this tray so we can put the drives on it, because that is what it... Alright, so it's saying if the switch and button is not assembled, the cable goes to the front when you pull it. Okay. No, that's not talking about this. Fit any fans to the rear. It says these are 50mm, but boy, they look like 40s. If not 30s. Boy, those are small. Anyways. Using a water block, 120 millimeter. Yeah, I guess the 120 millimeter fan fits better if you've got a PC board in here. It wouldn't stick out this way. So, going through this manual, it's got some great stuff in it. Drive tray is designed to easily locate the fitting by pushing the tray assembly to the front of the case. Okay, so we need to take the drive assembly out. The drive tray is complicated and fitting it depends on your configuration. There's a whole section on it, it says. I think I can figure it out without instructions. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, I'm going to do this gently. This case is well made. It's thick metal and it's folded just to make it... Can you hold this up for me because it wants to fall over? Thanks. Disassembled with love and care. Well, it looks like you can put twice as many screws into it if you wanted to. Cool. So it's got a spot down here where you could put a media reader. I saw that in some of the pictures. And we are going to remove the blank cover, and that's where the GoTech will go. Ooh. I need a number 1 Phillips. Let's get the front plate changed. I've now got a number 1 Phillips. There we go. There's a blank cover plate. Install on the right side up. It's too low. So let's go read the manual. So we are tightening. Where did I put the crescent wrench? Oh, there it is. Okay. It seems like this thing needs standoffs to be in the right spot, so I'm using the extra standoffs that came with this kit. I'm having a heck of a time threading them into here. So it's supposed to be these 4 holes according to the manual. Yep, cool. Not doing any of that. Alright, let's see if it fits. Yeah, we can tuck that underneath. Actually, let's run it on top. There we go. Okay, we're through the hole. And I think it's... Oh, okay, that's flush on the bottom. And I'm still too short.
Looks like you might have to. You can't add standoffs to the bottom.
Maybe I do need the Amiga standoffs. Alrighty. Let's see if it lines up properly now. This part of the manual did say it would take some fiddling. Yes, it's sitting flat on the bottom. Yes, that is the right spacing. So the original spacers from the floppy drive in the Amiga work perfectly with spacing this up. Let's hope that this one doesn't need to be spaced up too, or I'm going to have some trip to the hardware store or something in my future. These tend to break off at the time. I'm pretty lucky that one's not broken off.
What is that for?
Ejecting the floppy.
Oh.
Anyways, it does appear that it just fits. So I just have to screw it in to the proper holes.
Oh, we got lucky.
Yeah.
What you did.
I'm lucky I had the adapter from the original thing, and all right, these two are now done. Oh, and I'm going to take this original screw out of here because it's just rattling. Alright, so this drive is pretty well flush with the deepest part here, and this drive's going to work right there. Not the best color match there, but I think there's a different, I don't know why the hole's bigger. I think there's a different one that you can print or something that fits that better. But anyways, this is going to be way better than it was on the Amiga. I'll actually be able to see this when I'm sitting in front of the computer, where with the Amiga it was in the side of the computer. I'd always had to stick my head over there and see what it was doing. And yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end now. I gotta screw this drive holder back in. So let's move this thing back up. And clean the heads, and that'll work fine. Okay, so this one is going to go here. And I can tuck these under there, and I can bring the next one up to there. I still need to zip tie these up and out of the way, but I will do that in a moment. So here's my floppy power adapter. It goes from standard big old Molex down to a floppy size connector. So go in like that. And I'm going to find one of those connectors down here. There we go. Now all I need is floppy cable to hook these up to the motherboard. Thanks. So I can't link anybody to this power supply to use in their build because this came with a case that I bought used for $20 ages ago. There we go. So the slots that originally held the metal shielding onto this RAM expander, I used one of them, looped it around this. It's pulled up a little bit more than it should be, but it's not going to hurt the pins. And it's certainly going to keep it from sagging and shorting on anything down below. So now this, oh, we can do the keyboard now. So let's scoot this back. I'm not going to put the lid on this until I get floppies hooked up, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Sorry. That's what it looks like completed without the lid on it. Yeah. All right. And come on. Sticker? Oh, cool. We can put Checkmate somewhere on here. Very cool. This is the one the keyboard will plug into. I'll cover that later. We're going to screw it in, I guess. And this is going to go back here. Plug into the motherboard, and this goes. I should look in the instructions, I guess. Okay. So let's grab the instructions, get to the keyboard section. Yeah, that's ever so slightly too tall. I may take it apart at some point, come up with some different standoffs, but it'll do for now. Oh, here's the main cable. Cool. Now, assembling the keyboard case. This case is designed to hold the Amiga 500 and 1200 keyboards, and also the new Kipper 2K variants as well. I think there's a mechanical keyboard that you can put in here. because this thing is it's not bad for the time, but it's not perfect, and I could type a lot better on a mechanical. But anyways, so this is going to go in here, obviously. So screw the cable with the LED fly lead. I don't have an LED fly lead. I don't know what they're talking about. You need the A1500 keyboard cable kit for this. Screw the cable without the LED fly lead into the rear of the case as shown. Okay. Yeah, this is the LED fly lead. Yeah. So, and these are the screws for it. I've got some plastic screws and some metal screws. I wonder what the plastic ones are supposed to be for. Maybe we'll get to that. Didn't say to use them yet, so I'm not going to. Now drop the keyboard into lower supports. Okay, so it's got upper and lower, it's got these little tabs that stick up. And we're supposed to drop it into those. Then connect the keyboard cable. Okay, so I skipped that step. Black. Oh, all the colors match. Cool. This pin is a little cute. That'll probably be fine. Yep. Cool. Colors match. It's plugged in. Cool. This is a ground. Theoretically put that ground tab that I had from the floppy drive into that hole. Where did I have that? There it is. Totally what this has got to be here for. Don't think it's mentioned in the instructions though. Off to the side so it doesn't run into the top of the case. There we go. Now we drop it back in again. And plug it in here. This will be a ground. Cool. And drop the keyboard into the lower supports. With the M3 screw and washer, pinch the top of the keyboard into place on both sides. I didn't put any washers. That's peculiar. No washers. Maybe you changed screws and they got bigger heads or something. I don't know. Yeah, it'll probably be fine without a washer. I got 2 more nuts, so obviously it didn't come with enough, but I got more of those screws from the case box. Still don't know what the plastic white ones are for. Oh, here they are. Oh, I use those included white nylon screws to screw the lid onto the base. So I want to close this.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so it wants me to put the lid on this before we move on to the case. This down just a little bit to fit around the LEDs better. There we go. Now the LEDs will stay in place. Thank you. I'll pull the case off later and clean them because they're still dirty from the original owner. so I'll leave this one out. Thanks for pointing that out, because I'd have been driving myself insane trying to figure out what the hell. Good enough. Yeah, it's something.
If it keeps
So because I put that ground screw right here, I couldn't fit the plastic screw into the same, it turns out it's the same stud that this uses. So I put the shorter of the metal screws in there, and it's not all the way down, but at least it's something. I'm okay with there being metal screws holding that on. So LEDs are sticking through just right. Keyboard is better secured in this than it ever was in the plastic, or better secured in this than it had been in the plastic one, with all the busted tabs. So some more plastic falling out of it. But all the keyboard tabs had snapped off, and the keyboard was just kind of flopping around in there. All right. Now we do the case side of the keyboard adapter. Well, the top of it is going to be sideways rather than up. So
that's weird.
that's just how it was designed. It's not optional. Alright, so now we figure out how to plug that cable in. The other cable with the LED fly lead screws in the back of the main case and connects to the keyboard connector. Make sure the empty hole matches the missing spot. Oh, okay, cool. There we go. Now, where does this go? Yeah, the reason there's a hole in the back of the keyboard is because you can do some kind of USB adapter. So what I've got here, the two Amiga floppy cables. This is the one that I had in there for the GoTech. It's slightly longer than the one that came with the Amiga. But what you can see here, oh, that's probably why I had so much trouble. This points down, that one points up. I had some trouble getting the floppy drive to work at all. I had to do it backwards from what I expected. Anyways, may be the case again. Anyways, this is an IDE cable. It's got more pins than I need, so I'm going to remove the extras. But it is enough to reach if I put the first connector a little bit early and leave a blank spot and then go to the end. So that's what we're going to do. I have to get these connectors off, which is easier said than done. They are not intended to go backwards. Oh, but it's old brittle plastic, so it just snaps. There we go. Got them both off. Now it's just a matter of getting the back of the connector off. There we go. Go. Now I pull this out. Oh, all the pins come with it. I'll have to be more careful on those because those are the ones I need to save. Maybe I can just put them back in. I don't know. So.
Not too much, you can always move it.
Yeah. Could have one too many. I don't know I do.
At least you don't have
one too few.
Yeah.
got one more IDE cable out in the garage I could use, but it's shorter than this one, so I picked the longer one. So, this is my newer one. I should be able to, oh, and it's a different design, so it'll be easier to get off. It clips from the outside rather than the inside.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Can you go get the pliers that she's got for the heater?
Yeah.
On the floor near the heater. And I did it without yanking the pins out, too. So that's even better. .34 pin, I think it is. So anyways, we are going to do it from this end. It needs to be down like that. First connector is on. Now I'm going to plug this into the motherboard. I've got pin 1 on the wrong side. I should have had it up like this. Oh well. Well, what side is pin 1 on here? I think it's over here actually. So if I make that the floppy connector, the next connector needs to be there. Well, it's going to be pointing out the same way, so I'll do the next connector. Cool. So I plugged that end into that, because that's pin 1. Pin 1 over here is going to be on the opposite side, I think. There's a notch down there. So, nope, pin 1's on the same side here. Goofy. Floppy drive, non-standard floppy drives. Gotta love them. Yeah, it's got a notch in the board for that. We're just going to assume that's going to be the same way. And we'll give it as much as it needs. It needs to be right there. We are done. Pin 1 goes here. And this one's pin 1 goes there. Oh, come on. Everything is just the right length. I must be perfect at this. And then this one is definitely like that. Alright. You know what time it is. Time to test it.
You want me to go get them on today?
Not yet. I'm going to clean up a little bit of this mess. Alright. So these tags go on there, they come up, and we're going. No problem. Oh, it goes together so smooth. It's well designed. And 2 of these. You know, I might take this back, the back of this off, and take that to work and etch that too, so that it's labeled properly. Because I need mouse, joystick, right, left, disk drive, which looks to be the same size as that. It might be slightly smaller, but parallel port, serial port, video. Yeah. It's not the end of the world, but I'd really love to have these labeled, and I can do that with my laser at work. I don't even have to take it apart. I can just set this on the table and do it. So, that'll be for a future project, assuming my laser can get through the powder coat. figure if I turn the power up high enough, hit it enough times. If it were the black case, I'd have no doubt. But being beige, I have some doubt. Power supply. All right. Never tried running this with both floppies in it, so it'll be interesting to see if this works. I did change the ID from 0 to 1 on this one. This one's still at 0. Okay. Do we have enough power cords back here, or do you need to grab another?
This one's the black one back there.
Perfect, cool.
I had the survey around.
Oh yeah.
It's matching colors, but that's okay.
The colors don't match?
The black for the
Oh, yeah, the power cords, yeah, not a big deal. The keyboard cable's black too, so.
black and beige.
Need a beige keyboard cable that's got the curls in it like they used to do. Anyways. Alright, so we turn on the power supply. And then we hit the power button.
Oh, that LED.
Yep. Polarity might be backwards on those. RIB. You ever seen that complaint before? Oh, I bet I got the cable backwards again. That's what you get for putting the case screws in before you powered it up and tested it.
Yeah, they always seem not to do that.
I ran into this. Okay. Won't be as elegant this time. I'm just going to turn this on and see if I get no warning on the drive. Yep, flash floppy. Okay. And what integer are we on? No, I want it on 0. There we go. Okay, so we can go back to where we were. Places, everyone, places! This is the workbench disc. No, it really doesn't matter which one. I'll just grab one of
I don't know.
the... Yeah. AOL used to send us free floppy disks. Circa 1995.
Hello there, I am a computer. That sounds like Stephen Hawkins' voice. We are the bird. You will be assimilated. 3 substances to time.
I'll never get enough of that. Okay, so let's fire up something that's going to have good sound. Platoon 14. All right, and hey, you know, that means the keyboard's working. So let's reboot on the disk 14. And I don't think the floppy drive's working at all. It sounds dead as a doornail. It didn't do anything. I don't have the joystick plugged in yet. Oh well. Now I can see what track it's reading. There we go. Cool. This thing doesn't get very loud. Oh, that's better. It sounds a lot better when I have outside speakers than this monitor. Everything sounded better. It had more bass and everything. So, Katakis. Let's try 17. 14, 15, 16, 17. Next game. Where's the sound? Play the sound. Horizontal position? Yeah, I do. Cool. Okay, so I thought I was done, but then I remembered I didn't have these lights working, so I got them hooked up. And just as you can see on the keyboard, they stay on when the because it doesn't like the GoTech drive, so that's kind of annoying. I am in the diagnostics, the Amiga diagnostic disc, and I've got a double density floppy. So the drive is actually working more than I thought it would. So we do F6 for a read test, and I can hear it clunking. It says no ready signal, cannot read track 0. So, but I did hear it clunk, so it's responding. So write test, F7. And you can hear that. I'm getting nice and close, so you can hear it crunching away on the drive. So the drive is talking. Now up here it says it's not present, probably that ready signal they were talking about. Let's do a head calibration test. And yeah, receipt print cylinder. No, cylinder 40, 79. So this would be if I was in there with a screwdriver, but it says that I should have an Amiga DOS written by a well-calibrated drive. And most definitely do not have that right now. So anyways, I'm getting some signs of life out of the drive, but also some alarming signs that are saying it's not working. So need to keep troubleshooting that one. Alright, thanks for watching. If you liked this, click like, and if you sat through this whole thing, you should probably click subscribe, because you obviously like my videos. We'll do more with this in the future when I start doing some upgrades. Thanks for watching.